And Harrison Barnes, always the steady hand. Uh, 6 of
Uh,
9 from the field, 50% from three. He has been probably the most surprising positive for me this season, Jude. And this game is a perfect example of why. While everyone else
mhm.
was floundering, he continued to be steady. He was a constant source of offense, decent defender. Um, and he knows his role. He doesn't try and play outside of that role, but at the same time, when we need a basket, you can ring Harrison Barnes and he can find a mismatch and try and create some offense for us.
Dude, he's really been on a tear these past couple
Oh yeah.
games. Let me pull up his game log just for the sake of that. Again, we're not even getting to Stephon Castle for Rookie of the Year. That's the main thing that I really want to talk about and beat the drum here. But Harrison over the past couple games, man, here we go.
21 in April.
He's the opposite of Keldon in comparison to March and April, and he didn't have a terrible March. But just the way that he has started April has been explosive offensively. And this has coincided with Jeremy being shut down for the season. We didn't talk about that. There were a couple of episodes ago we had somebody in the comments, and much respect to you. Everybody can have the opinion that they want, but they were kind of going ham on Jeremy being injury prone.
I
But
remember that.
I just kind of feel like that this is pretty obvious. We're continuing to add to the tank by shutting him down for the end of the year. You just saw Maxey got shut down. I know Maxey's a completely different player than Sohan, but I think you get what I mean, Ethan. It's another wave of everybody around the league is shutting people down, especially teams in our situation. So yeah, that's kind of that I think is added context because I think we're asking him to shoot more, but still that doesn't take away from him executing in all of these games. 50% at least in every single game from the field. Only one game where he was sub 40% from three. We've been talking about him, averaging 42% from three on the season, 52% here in April, man. Just playing that perfect kind of floor spacing, modern switchable 3-4 role. Dude, I had the camera off, so I didn't see Winky's tail there.
Dude, he's
He,
been right in front of you the whole time.
he's very happy and excited about Harrison Barnes and what he's done so far in April, man. But I'm with you. Him shooting a career high from three this season was not something I would expect. But honestly, when you think about it now, man, with him playing off of Wemby, and you think about the way that he played off of Steph and Clay and all those guys, then it really kind of has been a seamless fit. And again, I'm really happy that we have him on contract for one more year, and we'll see what the future holds after that.
I agree 100% with what you said about Jeremy's injury. It's just a tank job, as well as definitely getting him ready for the Polish national team this summer. Um, yeah, Harrison Barnes. I saw a tweet from Kings Nation, and it was like, Spurs, how do y'all feel about Harrison Barnes? And all the fans from Spurs fans in the comments were like, I like him a lot. Great guy, like great locker room guy, consummate professional, and a really, really good shooter. And Kings fans are responding, and they were like, yeah, I guess you're right. I think we just wanted him to be the third option. Therefore, we were always disappointed. And that's really like
Right.
a perfect example of guys being pushed into the wrong role, but on a different team are seen completely different. And it's all about perspective and expectation. Same can be true for guys like Derek White in Boston, right? Here, people were hating on him because he was shooting like 32% from three and was expected to be our second best player. In Boston, he's like fourth best player, sometimes third, sometimes fifth best player. Like it really depends on the night. And he's
Shoot.
become a fan favorite over there.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so glad you brought up the Derek example because that's exactly what I was thinking of. And, circumstance as well. Him being surrounded by more talent, and not being zeroed in on in a game plan
Right.
allows him this year. He broke some record. I think this year he broke the record for the most threes ever made in a season by a Celtic. Y'all can correct me in the comments there, but I'm pretty sure I saw that on StatMuse on Twitter. And it makes sense, just with the higher volume of today's league, like I saw with the Jokic 60-point triple double. I think there's only like three people to do that. It's
Mhm.
him, Luca, and James Harden, and that's all since 2018. So, anyways, the whole reason I make that point is kind of since then, we've seen higher shots, faster pace, bigger numbers. So it's kind of crazy to think that out of all the great Celtics that there's been, Derek holds that record. But
Yeah.
again, to your point, people were complaining about his 3-point shooting when he was here. Look what, a change in scenery. And, you got to give credit to the Celtics development staff as well. But yeah, I think Harrison Barnes, as much as, this year is not a championship season for the Spurs or a playoff season, he can kind of be a piece in that mold. Again, not saying he's going to completely be Derek White, in the playoffs. But I think, again, Harrison Barnes, a seamless fit, kind of as that off ball shooter and, 3 or 4, wherever we want him to play.
100%.